that shit silenced. Good to go.
Good to go. Good to go. Well, here we go. Like that double oak reserved over there,
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
or Woodford Reserve double oak.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
It'll put a little hair on your chest if you're not careful.
Age is doing that anyway.
That's true. So we were texting last night about you were asking about jumping in that pool.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you're not going to jump in that pool because everybody says they're going to do it, and then they don't do it, including me. I'll do the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll jump in that pool.
I'm going to get it.
But you did indeed jump in that pool.
I did. Twice. Walked in once, jumped in once.
That's true. And I do have evidence that you did do that. I'll show that to you here in a little bit. I think I fucked that up. But anyway, well, welcome back. CC, Chris Cavey. The kids probably call you CC, don't they?
No.
Only me. Only I call you CC.
I think this is about the only time I've ever been called that.
Yeah. Well, that's your new name here at the Fairview Social Podcast, CC.
All right.
I was thinking about when you came in with those Mick Ultras. You ever watch a show called Landman with Billy Bob Thornton in it?
No.
So he's a landman in Texas, and he in the oil business and all that. And one of the best lines in a show that I've ever heard is he's like sitting at a bar and they're like, hey, you want a bourbon or whatever? He's like, nah, I quit drinking. Just give me an ultra. I'm like, exactly. He's like, you drink a few of those bourbons and you're going to be on the floor. You drink like 6 or 7 ultras and you're good to go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I can put them back.
Yeah. Yeah, you said I have 10 beers. Is that going to be enough? I'm like, I don't know. I know for me, that might be questionable, but I did get the bourbon. So
there we go.
But anyway, so when you were here before, it's always funny. You were one of the first few episodes that we'd done here, and it always happens. It doesn't happen so much anymore because we got people that are constantly coming on now. Yeah. But people would, start to open up and start to, be more chatty after they like kind of got used to it, because it is awkward when you're hearing yourself and
yeah.
It's all weird. So we turned it off and finished the episode. And then we sat here for like another hour or two, and you were like, man, I got all these stories. I'm like, well, what the fuck, man? Why didn't you tell us the stories then? But I get it.
Well, it's, we were talking about so much, and there were a lot of explanation. So people kind of understand, because they may not get everything I was trying to talk about, and it's hard to. So let me tell you about this time I shot this guy in the face.
Yeah. I get it.
You got to find the transition, and
yeah, you don't want to just be like, oh yeah, and then I shot this guy in the face, which I think that it was implied,
right? But then that's how we started talking. Outside afterwards, it was like, yeah, so okay, you want to hear about it? Sure.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But I mean, I do have a shit ton of stories about it. We can talk about whatever.
It's funny that you're coming on here. I've been watching a show. I watched it before years ago. I watched a show called Homeland, and it's, a lot of it takes place in Afghanistan. And so, I'm sitting there watching it. And I've been to places like Haiti and stuff like that, so they're very similar in like just their structures and all that kind of stuff. But like when you were out there in Afghanistan, you weren't like in cities or anything. You were out in like the
villages,
villages and stuff like that. So it's a lot different. But even it looked pretty. The cities look pretty decent.
I spent like 18 hours in like Kabul or whatever.
Yeah.
It looked much different, but the rest of the country, from what I've seen, is desolate mud huts. Even, you know, the district center where I was at in Helmand Province was same. There were just more of them closer together.
Yeah.
Some structures had tin roofing, sheeting on the sides. You know, but
isn't it strange though, like how the rest of the world, like we're pretty much the exception. You know?
Yeah.
It's like we're not the norm. How we live out here and all that. And I think that people have a hard time understanding that live here because, you know, maybe they haven't seen all of these other places. And I haven't either by any means. I haven't seen the world. I've seen some places, but anywhere that I've been, it's just kind of run down and it's not nice, you know?
yeah.
We call it the cruise ship. We live on the cruise ship here. We don't think about all the shit that people are living in out there, you know?
Yeah. I got to go to some other places, but even those, I mean, maybe Japan's probably the outlier. Malaysia was probably an outlier as well because, but Japan was nice. It was clean.
Yeah.
They really give a fuck, you know? The building structures were, you know, they were different. There was a lot of concrete shit. Like,
Yeah.
instead of the way we build stuff here. But Malaysia was real nice. It was real clean too. We got to spend like a day and a half on Libo when I was out there, and I mean it was downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
You know, minus all the bars. Malaysia didn't party a whole lot.
I always try to equate what I would see out there to like what you see here, and so, you know, living in Fairview is kind of like out in the country, you know, out in the sticks compared to Nashville. So it's like the comparison is that,
Yeah.
and even this is modern as hell, you know. So
Oh, yeah,
we're
for sure.
living in the sticks out here. This is like one of the wealthiest counties in the world.
You have electricity that doesn't get shut off when somebody says they've had too much.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean, like, went to Thailand and the Philippines. Where I was at, you could tell. I mean, you could see like the rundown, dilapidated kind of construct of how it was.
Yeah.
But all of the Philippines isn't like that. All of Thailand isn't like that. Just kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
And like I said, Thailand, where we got like 6 hours, 8 hours of Libo, and I mean, it was like the French Quarter, Bourbon Street, but it was just more run down, kind of. And then one of the odd things that struck out to me was like all the power lines. Like we have ours consolidated. Like we still have a lot of power lines. There are like thousands of lines running down these poles.
Yeah.
If something happens, like how in the fuck do you fix that? That's a mess.
It's funny because I always think about like in Haiti, you know how we've got like all these codes and stuff of how, you know, your electrical's supposed to be and all that, but like, you know, they'll have like the electric boxes like way up here, and you know, it's like whatever. And it's just like a fire hazard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm surprised that more shit doesn't catch on fire because of all that.
I don't. Electric is. It's odd. I don't know shit about it, and it scares the hell out of me. But
me too.
But you look at it and you're like, that can't be safe at all.
Exactly. That can't. Absolutely not. Well, we got some pictures that you sent over. We can take a look at these.
We do.
We have. We'll just go through them in no particular order.
Okay.
First of all, you got you and a bunch of men hanging out.
So that was Fort Pickett, Virginia. Leading up to my first deployment, we did this month-long exercise out there, and my company, of course, got fucked, and we had like 20 straight days in the field. And so there was a fob set up, and then you rotated between a bunch of these different exercises with like time at the fob mixed in there. But for whatever reason, my company got the first range we got dropped off at, hike to the next one, do that little evolution, hike to the next one, do that evolution, get picked up, and then we get back to the fob. We spent like 12 days at that first range. And this is, at the end of it, we were done waiting for the next one to clear up. But instead of them trucking us back to the fob, we had to sit out there for a couple extra days.
So where is this, though?
Fort Pickett in Virginia.
Okay.
We hadn't had a shower or nothing. It's hot as hell. It was hot, cold, raining most of the time. And so they finally let us, second to last day, go down and go wash your nasty asses in the river. So that's what we did. We went down there, swam around, played, fucked around a little bit, took a shower in the river.
There you go.
So
nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go to the next. There you go.
So that's good old post in Afghanistan on some op that we did.
Is that like a wall that y'all are sitting on?
Yeah. So last time I talked about a story where they were shooting AGS-17 at me, right? And I told you everything out there is 15-foot walls.
Yeah.
And then in a courtyard, and then there are buildings inside of that. And I was talking about my post. I was sitting on top of a building next to the wall in the corner, right? This isn't that particular one, but this is what they looked like for the most part. We're on top of a Twinkie hut, propped up on water jugs and shit. Mm-hmm. And you look over the wall. That's kind of...
Is that like field out there, or is that like a city out there?
Depends on where you were at, what part of the village you were, and all that. Yeah, that's basically what it looked like. I was sitting up there just like that, and they're shooting that AGS-17, dropping those 40 mics.
Lord.
So, nowhere to go.
So what do you do if they start shooting at you?
Hopefully you can see them so you can shoot them back.
There you go.
Obviously, in that particular scenario, the range of that weapon system was much greater than the weapon system I was carrying. They were shooting from behind us. Luckily, I was able to get the spotter and another guy and take care of them. But so basically, we'd get to a compound, put guys up on the roof just like that, use the wall for some sort of cover, and make sure nobody tries to come through the front. Make sure they don't,
There's a lot of concrete, man.
It's mud. It's mud.
Oh, really?
They like water into the field. They mix it around and throw it like it's legit mud.
How long do you think that wall's been there like that?
I have no idea. Who knows? Like I said, intel was never correct. So you get to a spot and there's supposed to be nothing, and then there's fucking buildings, or there's supposed to be buildings and they're not buildings. So who knows?
Is this is that mud right there?
Right. So you can see obviously it's been fucked up from the outside. But
I mean, if somebody shot a gun through that,
it's not going through it.
You don't think it's going to go through it?
I know for a fact it's not going through it.
Because you've been shot at it?
Because I have shot in that wall, those walls. Tried to shoot people through. So you see the holes up at the top. Mm-hmm. The one to the right is a little bit bigger. So they would dig out holes like that. We did the same thing, called murder holes. So you could like see and then engage through. And if they're going to hit you, they got to get through that.
Wow.
And so, I mean, we definitely peppered the walls, shot them with all kind of shit, and really nothing goes through it. They're thick. They're 18 inches thick. It's packed in there. But that's actually me squatting down. So I had swept through so that's what their farm fields look like. I'd swept through the field, get there. We took a security halt. So while somebody was doing something, so I'm just
it just looks
prop my back against the wall and hang out until we're ready to move on to the next one.
It looks like somebody just did donuts there or something.
Right. So those little
the look of donuts over.
So they're like in grids, right? They have all these squares. They mound up little berms, ankle, boot top high. And when they go to water them, they'll start a pump from little creek or whatever, and they'll flood one until it's got like all the water, and then it'll go through and like dig a section of the berm out, so it starts flooding all the consecutive ones, and they'll fill them with water, let it sit and hold in, and that shit gets muddy as hell when you're trying to walk through it, and
it looks,
not fun.
It's like the kind of mud that's going to pull your shoe off.
Oh yeah, your feet are heavy as hell after that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else. What we got right here?
Again, out on another op, rolling down. So I was a sweeper. I was the lead sweeper for our team. Saw something in the ground that looked suspicious, hit it with a minesweeper. It went off. Heavy metal.
What's a minesweeper?
So if you go back to the previous one, so in my hand, like holding up a. So it's like a metal detector, right? That's probably a better word. Metal detector, right? Like you take out to the beach.
Yeah.
Saw depression in the ground. Okay, somebody's been digging here. Hit it with the metal detector. Depending on what noise it makes, tells you how much metal it is. It was a real heavy hit. So stopped everybody. So that berm off to the right of the picture, right, there's guys, they set up over there. There's people behind me. They all cleared out and start digging to make sure it's nothing that's going to blow us up.
So did you say that there was something like, did you say that something was like originally like sticking out of the ground or something?
A depression. Like, you put plants in the ground, right?
And then after it settles, it kind of goes down.
Right. And so that's like a visual indicator from far off of like, hey, somebody has been digging here, and it was right in the middle of this walking path. Didn't make sense.
Did you find anything in that particular?
There was a gas can in there, actually. Metal gas can that I ended up pulling up out of the ground.
So when you would see those indentions in the ground, did you actually find stuff in there?
Sometimes. My second deployment, we were going to places that like we weren't going back to. We weren't going to be there long. Nobody was coming in after us to hold the area. And so we were tasked with hitting different objectives. And then I got to choose the routes to get to the objectives. If I saw something that looked suspicious, if I could not avoid it, obviously I'd go check it out. But if there was a way to avoid it and go around and still hit the objective, like, why take the risk?
Yeah.
So let's just go walk through some shitty stuff where they're not going to put something. And let's go hit our objectives and make sure everybody comes home with their, hands and feet and shit.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
There we go. Sitting on post. Exactly. That's what it looks like from outside the wall.
Who is that?
That's me.
That's not you.
That is 100% me.
Look at that mustache, man.
Yeah.
Rocking
That was my deployment mustache. It was nasty.
My deployment mustache. When I was looking at these pictures yesterday, I was like, I don't know. I don't think that's Chris. You kind of look like Kid Rock. Kid Rock over there fucking stuff up.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
No, it's all, you know how he's got that awesome mustache.
But yeah, no, that's me.
No, that's awesome.
Kevlar unbuckled and everything.
Is that a camera on the helmet?
So the rhino horn on front, that holds your NVGs.
What's NVG? I'm dumb.
Night vision.
Oh, night vision goggle.
So,
okay.
And then the thing connected to my ear, it had a flashlight. It had an IR flashlight. So you could see it through the NVGs, but you can't see it any other way. It had a strobe on it. So people could, with their NVGs, could see the strobe, and they know that's one of our guys over there.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's pretty awesome. You guys are just able to. Would you have like just a camera, or like a phone?
No, that was somebody. That was somebody on patrol coming back into our compound. So this was out on one of the ops. We cleared everything out, hold the final compound, start punching patrols out, and re-clearing and rechecking and keeping an eye on everything. And there was somebody from one of the patrols coming in, taking a picture. So I had combat camera attached to us for a couple ops. So the one where I was digging something out of the ground, that was a combat cameraman. Took that picture.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's a good picture. All right, what we got here?
Me pulling real strong security. I got sent on some stupid ass mission with some. Me and my team got picked for it. I don't know why my team got picked for it. So my fire team, we got sent out up to the Kajaki Dam, and we had to go with the people that carry the money. I don't remember what they were called, but so like we fucked something up or we shot somebody we shouldn't have shot. They like go out and engage the locals and they give them money to make it right. So I had to go escort these motherfuckers while they're set up. And we were set up like outside the Kajaki Dam. I don't know why they needed a security detail, but they did. We were there. I mean, there was a truck with, up guns on it. And we're not that far from the post. There's no reason to have anybody on the ground. So I think maybe I swept the area to clear it and then just standing around in the middle of nowhere.
When you're standing around and doing that type of stuff, do you have like, are you like constantly on edge in these type of situations, or do you have like a feeling of calm in this type of stuff, doing something like that?
I think it depends on your experience level, first of all. How long have you been out there? Is this mission number one of the deployment? What kind of intel comes down? Where we were? I mean, I wasn't obviously not worried about too much. I'm using front sight post of my rifle as a cane.
Well, I was going to say that's what it looks like. But I guess my concern would be like, you don't want to, I feel like you don't want to get comfortable, because the second that you let your guard down is the second that something bad could happen,
Right. Absolutely.
Did you have that constant feeling of like, hey, if I let my guard down, then something could happen? But
on the ops, for sure, sometimes. Back at the FOB, like, so the second deployment, because we were a helo company, we didn't have to stand post at the FOBs. We didn't have to run patrols out of the FOBs. We were tasked to go to these villages, clear the villages, get the targets, whatever we had to do. After that, rest, refit, plan, do the next one. So we didn't have to do all that other mindless kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So back at the FOB is definitely like way more lax. There's other people are taking care of all that other shit. So
yeah,
I don't have to worry about it. We're in a much larger base because we had to get helos in to get us out.
So how long would something like this go for? Like when you had to go do this, is this like a day event? Or?
So when I had to do this security detail for these guys, I think I was with them for like 2 weeks, and we stayed up at the Kajaki Dam, which was in a large FOB, so there was no concern about anything happening with all that.
Getting that mic, son. Get after it.
But we'd go out 4 or 5 hours. So we weren't even out that long.
Yeah.
We're not going to hostile territory really, because I'm taking the money guys to go pay somebody because we fucked their building up or some shit.
Yeah.
Or village leaders are coming to us. It wasn't the same shit as we were doing. So
yeah,
pretty like, why are you wasting my time doing this? I got other cool shit to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's another one, same one, same hole, and that was from combat camera. Took that.
I mean, you just stick your hands in those holes looking for stuff. Is there no like protocol to be like, hey, you better be careful in there?
Yeah, the protocol is to wear your gloves and not roll your sleeves. But
kind of like, is that you right there?
That is me. Yes, and to have your iPro on, but
looks like you're not doing any of those.
Of those. Well, when you got your gloves on, you can't feel with your fingers. And if I'm gonna dig something up that's gonna explode, like I would like to feel what the fuck I'm doing, because one wrong move, if this is a bomb, like I'm gone. They're like, well, where's your iPro? Like, well, it's fucking shaded. It's sunny as hell, so you're wearing sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
And they're ballistic eye protection. Like, if that's a bomb, what are you gonna take my fucking eyeballs home? Like, who gives a shit? Like, if
Yeah.
it's a bomb and I fuck up and it goes off, like, the eye pro's not saving me at this point.
Yeah.
And then I rolled my sleeves because that hole ended up getting so big, it kept getting hung up.
Yeah.
And again, one wrong move, something goes bad. I don't want shit to get hung up and fucked up like that. But
Somebody's probably invented this, and we're in the landscape industry, so we know even with the work that we do now, like there needs to be a thin ass glove where you can still feel like everything, you know, because like we send our guys out to go pull weeds and things like that. And you know, as well as I know that you can't get in there and get it with gloves on. And then we tell them you need to wear your gloves for everything. Same with that kind of stuff right there. Cause you want to be able to feel what's in there.
right, especially like in this situation. But so the protocol was, I mean, at that point in time, or like, I guess the technique behind it was you go to the beginning of the hole, you find a soft spot and you dig down. You never dig forward, you always dig down. Because as you dig down, all the shit in front of you like falls down into your hole.
Yeah.
And then slowly reveals like the edge and the outline of what you're digging out. Just by digging down, because, you know, as you dig deeper, like if you're trying to dig a hole straight down, right, putting a plant in or digging to an irrigation line, you dig down and then like shit starts falling and filling it up and filling it up and filling it up, and it gets a pain in the ass. So you end up digging a big wide hole, right? So the thought is you just keep digging down and keep swiping, keep swiping, keep swiping. Hopefully you've caught it so it's not packed in super hard, and it all just falls and falls and falls and falls. And then it's like, oh shit, there's the outline of the pressure plate. That's not fucking supposed to be there.
That's probably not good news.
Right, because like you don't find these like crisp, clean, 90-degree edges, straight lines like down in the ground.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy. All right, what we got here?
that's again on one of the ops. Searching buildings after we cleared them. So we cleared, make sure there's nobody in there and all that. And then we go through and start turning all their shit over. Searching, seeing what, finding ID, make materials, drugs, money, any valuable intel that we can find. So that's what I'm doing at that point in time.
Yeah. What do you got? What is all that like wrapped around your body there? Like on your, I guess it's.
All right. So
the people that are listening, there's a picture. This is you, right?
yes.
There's a picture of Chris here with, you know, like in his uniform. What do they call these? What's
my camis?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
What is that? What they call?
Yeah, I was in my camis. I got my flak jacket on.
But you have all these like pockets with things in it. Is that like ammunition or what is all that?
So the ones across my belly, those are my mag pouches. I hold magazines in them. If you look to the right of the picture next to that, there's more pouches. Those have 40 mic grenades in them from the 2 or 3 that I carried. On my chest are grenade pouches. Around my waist, I have a belt. And on one side is my IFAC, which is my individual first aid kit. On the other side is a dump pouch. So you start running out of you shoot a magazine, you got to put it somewhere. Put it in your dump pouch. You pick something up that you need to keep, put it in the dump pouch. So I'm not re-putting those magazines in my mag pouches, and I run dry. I need to change magazines, and I'm grabbing a fucking empty one. And then we had they came up with these blast diapers because in Afghanistan, guys were getting their legs blown off, right? That was a big thing. A lot of the IED strikes were to like blow a foot off, blow a leg off, right? They wanted to fuck you up so they could try and get the guys that are coming to save you. In that process, guys were losing their nuts and their dick.
Wow.
So they came up with this blast diaper is Kevlar to stop shrapnel. So like you at least have your manhood after you get your legs blown off.
God, man, that's crazy. I know that that's like when you look at that picture that you just, that's the norm. But for people, civilians, and we don't know what any of that stuff is. And so I think it's good that you explain. Is that like standard issue type stuff that people would wear?
Yeah. So I mean, everybody has a little bit different setup. But it's how do you like it? Where do you want it?
Yeah.
I carried a 203, which is a 40 millimeter grenade launcher. So I had to carry 40 Mike for my 203. So that's a loadout that I had that like somebody else doesn't.
Yeah.
So, and that's where they were right there. Well, they're on my left side because
I always think about like every time I see, like if I'm at a restaurant or something, eating a sandwich at lunch and a cop comes in and they've got like their belt of all the things on there, I'm always like, man, that's just so much stuff. It seems like it's uncomfortable or gets in the way and all that kind of stuff, which I'm sure it does. But that's like to the max, all that on there.
It was a lot. And then, so in that belt that I have on the back side, I had a larger first aid kit that I carried. Just, you can never have too much first aid shit.
Yeah.
Especially out there. So.
All right, let's see what we got here. I was looking at this one and I thought that what is that, grass?
It's wheat.
Wheat. Yeah, because last time we were talking, you were talking about all the wheat fields and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
what one of them looks like. So this one's just out in the open, whereas that one that we talked about last time just was like in a fucking compound. So we are moving to those buildings that you see kind of behind where we are. I think that's Christ. I'm not 100% sure who that is at that point in time, but somebody running behind like snagged that picture while they were going.
Yeah.
So we don't remember what op it was, but we had to set up a TOT, which is a time on target, because we had to move through this huge danger area. I mean, it was multiple football fields from where we were to where we needed to be, just open space.
So you were doing like an operation there, sneaking around and.
So I am like
trying not to get killed.
I'm in the front of this because I led the way.
Yeah,
I was the lead sweeper. But so we set up a time on target where everybody around that had visuals on this area would lay down suppressifiers so we could get from one spot to the next, because we, like I said, it was like multiple football fields.
Yeah. From
where we were to where we needed to get to.
It's crazy, man. You know, it's interesting because it's so vibrant and green. You know,
it can be
with as dusty and just kind of, the desert look of everything out there. And when I was looking at these pictures the other day, it's like, man, that's the greenest. I thought it was grass. I should have known it was wheat. But that's pretty cool. All right, what we got right here?
So this is Reservoir Dogs 1 is the operation it's on. So I'm on the right, Christ is on the left. After an engagement, talking about what happened, where they went, what's our next move. I mean, he's got the map and shit in his hand. Figuring out what the next step is at this point. But that's out on an operation. So Christ was our squad leader.
So did you do this stuff like every day, or was there days where like you were just hanging out at wherever you were staying? Like what did days off and stuff like that look like? So
we would go out. I think the shortest op we did was 24 hours. The longest one we did was 7 days. On my first tour, on the second one. So we would go out, run the operation, depending on what operation, depending on the time frame. Like I said, 24 was the shortest, 7 days was the longest.
Yeah.
We'd come back, rest, refit, get our next mission, make the plan, do the walkthroughs, do the run-throughs, go back out.
Yeah.
It might be a month, might be a couple weeks. So, and they had, my company had 3 platoons, and they would kind of circle through the platoons. At least like in the beginning, it was like first would go on one, they would, while they're out and they're all that, second is prepping for theirs, and then second goes out. And we're prepping for ours, and then first is like back, rest, refit, and then they start prepping. And so we just had this cycle where somebody was out doing something, so the time frame was different between each op, depending on how long it took for a mission to come down, and then how long it took to do the planning.
Yeah.
So, but we were at a larger fob when we were doing all of that. So we were at White House. So was the fob name.
Oh, look at that.
This is Japan. This is my third deployment. Right as I was kind of getting out, this was day at the beach on the island. We were in Okinawa.
That's pretty. It looks pretty nice there.
It was. We had a barbecue or something with the platoon or the company, and put us all together to snag a picture. So some of those guys in that picture are guys from my second deployment, and then some of those other guys are guys that I still talk to today.
I was going to ask you, do you still talk to all those guys?
Not all of them, but I do. I talk to four or five of them. So I've actually been in two of their weddings. I was in one's wedding, went to the other wedding, and then have been to multiple funerals with the group of them.
Do these guys like are any of them still in, or are they all out of it at this point?
I think everybody in this picture is out. Yeah, I believe everybody in this picture is no longer in.
They just decide that they didn't want to do it anymore, or just multiple different reasons.
Not 100% sure. Their reasoning for getting out. A lot of them were like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Actually, the guy like front center with the half sleeve and the tattoo across his chest got out and then went to the Army for a handful of years. He actually just got out of the Army.
People do
about
that
2 years ago.
They leave one branch and go to a different.
Not a ton, but it happens.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. It's crazy to think that like they just go in, do what you need to do, and then like, all right, I'm done with this. I guess a lot of them probably have families, got married, and all that kind of stuff.
They are now. Yeah. A lot of them are now. Almost all of them that I know of in that picture are, because I have them on Facebook. Don't necessarily talk to them all the time, but I got them on there, see them on there, and
yeah. All right, what we got right here?
That is my entire company, in 29 Palms. After one of the ranges, I believe that was Bravo Company, the one I went to Japan with.
Look at how the mountains just. Do you just see that for miles out there
in the Mojave Desert? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right.
So this is the Japan group, right? So we got Billy. This is Billy's wedding. We were all in it, and then
in Japan.
No, this was back here in the States. It was in Chicago. This was like shortly after, or it was a couple years after.
Yeah.
So we this is a group I went to Japan with. We all still talk to each other, regularly.
How long did you say that you were in Japan? You told me that last time.
I was in Japan like 6 months.
Oh, I thought it was only a couple weeks.
No, well, so I got to Japan. I was there for a month. Then we got on a ship, did our ship stuff, and I came back. I was there for a week, and then I got sent back to the States because my extensions got denied. So, there's Knight is the top right, and Billy, he's the one's wedding it was. He's the one whose wedding we're at, and then Wynn and Howard finish out the top row. DeLeon in the middle, with his hands like that, and then me in the corner before my beard game was super strong.
I was gonna say you got like a baby beard, which your baby beard is still like massive. Of course, it's a lot grayer now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What happened to it? Were you dying it then? It almost looks like you died.
No. It's still, I guess, a little young. I did have still a bunch of grays, but they're all like tucked in right in here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. Your beard game is strong. That's for sure. I mean, it was strong back then. How old is that picture, you think?
Shit. I don't even know. I didn't have kids. Yeah. I don't believe I had kids yet.
8 to 10 years, maybe.
So, yeah.
How old's your oldest again?
She turns 9.
Yeah.
9 this year.
Yeah.
So I was probably 9 years old, 8, 9 years old, something like that.
Yeah, those kids will put that gray in your beard for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you that. All right. This is cool. This is a panoramic shot of what you got here.
So that's from inside one of the compounds. So you got the wall that surrounds the entire thing, and then, like I said, all these different little buildings and huts and shit that are inside of the compound. So we would have to enter the compound, secure the courtyard, and then start clearing each building.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever find any kind of anything bad when you go in there?
Yeah.
You have any like action when you do these, or when you pull up to these things, you're like, all right, here's another one of these stupid things. I'll just go through and do it.
You never know. You never know what's behind the door. So you always go in with the mindset that there's going to be somebody there. A lot of the ones, because we'd like come in at night, everybody here has come in. And then we'd hold the compound and then wait until the sun comes up. Sun comes up, we start pushing. So like that time frame of us landing and taking the first compound to pushing out and clearing the village, a lot of people would leave.
Yeah.
They just run for the hills. They didn't want to be part of it. And then after we cleared everything, a lot of times that's where the bad guys would start coming back over the hills. Like, okay, we're gonna go fuck. We got our buddies now. We're gonna come fight. But
I think we talked about this a little bit last time, but you said generally speaking, like the people liked you out there, like the locals.
the first one, I didn't have much I had almost no interaction with locals. My second one.
Really?
So, because I wasn't in a place for very long. And like I said, helos would come in and they'd get their shit and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because they knew why we were coming. They knew we were coming for not good. They knew who was in the village and they figured that's why we were coming there.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, one of these was an IED making compound that we kicked the door into, and I'd got up on top of one of the roofs and was looking at, there was a bunch of shit on the roof going through it, and right on top of the roof facing like the doorway was a Campbell soup can.
Yeah.
With no label on it. And I'd knocked a couple empty ones around, and so I figured that was the same thing, like just brushed it off to the side and had some weight to it. Picked it up and I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, they had made a DFC, directional fragmentation charge, out of the soup can and faced it right at the door so they could blow somebody. I mean, it's a big ass shotgun, basically. It filled it with nails and pennies and whatever, to basically rip somebody's head off as they were coming through the door. It was missing the blasting cap. That was it.
Wow.
I picked up and looked right at it. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. So we found
I better not look at that.
Yeah, we found a ton of shit in that compound. We found mortar rounds, a shit ton of homemade explosives, all kind of shit. So we waited for like 18 hours for EOD to get there. It took fucking forever. They came out, lined everything up. They're like, hey, does anybody want to blow it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do. I found the shit. Let's do it. So I got to pop the smoke on the charge, come out the building, go around 200 meters away, stop, take a knee. And it was sunset it was dark by this time, and it went off. It was a massive explosion. And you could just see like chunks of mud and shit, like scorched embers flying through the air. It was wild. It was a good time.
I don't know that that's a good time.
I mean,
you want to talk about living on the edge, man? That's living on the edge.
That was a sketchy one.
Yeah.
So.
All right, what we got next here? Let's see.
So that's what one of the villages or cities looked like.
I mean, it's just mud.
Yes.
That's crazy. I guess I thought that it was all concrete and stuff, but they're just building everything out of that mud.
Right. And I mean, you can see how many windows and doorways and just alleys and avenues of approaches. that's what we would walk into to go clear.
Yeah, but are people living in that? Just like a normal family. This is where I live.
Yeah.
Is it like a town in there?
Yeah. I mean, like,
You go to like a market, like in Haiti, I always equate like there was a guy on the side of the road that was like, fixing a tire. I'm like, all right, well, that's discount tire right there. And then there's somebody over here selling like, some chicken that they're cooking. I was like, all right, well, that's McDonald's. Is it the same over there?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
there are
there's people that do different things.
Yeah, some of the villages like have markets and stuff in them. Some of them are just where people live and they farm, and then they got to go to other villages to go to the market. But that's
Isn't it crazy how that looks just like ants, burrowing in all of their tunnels and shit?
Yeah,
It's pretty crazy.
it's wild.
All right, this is a cool one.
This is the first deployment.
Is that you?
That is me.
Looks like you're ready to shoot something.
That was actively engaging people. So remember, so last time we had talked, like by the end of my first deployment, we had to walk like all the way to the edge of our AO, go sit up on top of this hill, and just wait for them to come out and start shooting at us. And we just played two-way rifle range back and forth. So that's a picture of one of the engagements. There's obviously no cover. So, I mean, just standing up in the open, like, here I am, guys. Like, let's do this. Trading back and forth with them.
I was gonna say, like, it reminds me of back in the olden days, back when we were, fighting for this country, and we would line up, and then the British would line up, and then they'd load up and then shoot at each other, and the first row of each of them are dead. It's like, and then George Washington's like, nah, man, I'm jumping up in the trees and hiding and shit.
Yeah, not quite like that, but there's quite a bit of distance separating us. But you can see same general loadout as my first deployment. So then there's two 240s in the background.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I see the guys back there. All right, we got American flag.
America 3-2. So this was the group of guys I went with on the second one. This is our squad. And all the ones that are still alive I talk to this day.
That's awesome.
So
America 3-2.
So we were Alpha Company, 3rd Platoon, 2nd Squad. So America 3-2 was our call sign.
That's awesome that you still talk to those guys. It's. I mean, I know that this is a dumb example, and I was going to ask you this. I'll go ahead and ask you now. Like, when you watch like I said a minute ago, I was watching Homeland, and so it's got the Marines in there, and they're doing all this stuff. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there's plenty of movies and shows. Like, what do they get wrong about all that stuff, or do you think that they're pretty accurate in their description of how things work?
I think they get a lot of shit wrong.
Yeah.
A ton.
Like, what are some examples? Like, even when they're engaging in fighting and all that, does all that seem accurate? What's one? Let me ask you this: what's one movie where you're like, yeah, that's like that?
The one with Chris Kyle, they did a really, really good job.
You talking about the one that had Bradley Cooper in it?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So I fucked up and watched it at the theater.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with that one. So
it's probably because he was on set saying, no, it has to be like this. You don't want to.
I think he was already passed. He had already passed when they made that one. But a lot of, I mean, the uniforms are wrong. The way shit happens is wrong. And a lot of the series is shit like that based on my experience and the time I was in.
Yeah.
I can't compare Vietnam flicks because I wasn't in Vietnam. I can't compare, some of the Iraq shit because I wasn't there. A lot of changed.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
from time to time. But
a lot of these movies now, because I mean, hell, we were in Afghanistan for over 20 years.
Yeah,
and so it seems like they've made several. I don't know about movies, but I know in different series, there's stuff like that in there.
I mean, there's just a lot of like military. Every time they like inject military people into or shows and stuff, there's a lot of dumb shit. I was like, well, that's not how that fucking works. But okay.
Yeah.
If you say so, I guess.
If you say so. All right, what we got here? Oh, shit, that's cool looking.
Okay. That's the compound I kicked the door in. That's when Alice in Chains Rooster comes on. That's where I go to.
Yeah.
That's the one that we talked about last time. This is a little bit later, so all the mist had burnt off. But you can see the sun peeking over the wall. Mm-hmm. And this entire field is just walled in for whatever fucking reason.
I mean, that's actually a really cool picture there.
So there's another one that
It's fun. Well, hold on a second. When you were explaining this last time, I was having a hard time picturing what you were, but I can see it now. For sure.
Yeah. And there's another one. It was taken by combat camera. This was like, I took this picture right before, because obviously this isn't what we were supposed to walk into.
Yeah.
So we had to like regroup and figure out a strategy. Like, what the fuck are we going to do? There was no other exit, but we needed to get on the other side of the wall. Figured all that bullshit out. So this was right before we left out. But as all that planning and figuring out what our next step was, combat camera took a picture of one of the guys, DeLeon. He's a little short Puerto Rican guy. I mean, the grass is like up to here. And you could still like dusk, right? Mm. And you can still see the mist, and they got a picture of him. I just couldn't find it. It's probably on the hard drive, not.
Do they get mad when you're walking through their fields over there?
Nobody said anything to me.
Well, I'm sure that if they guys that got guns walking around, they're not going to say much to them about it.
Right. But I mean, there was nobody in that. It was just a wheat field.
Yeah. That's a cool picture.
It was odd, but yeah, it came out a little grainy, unfortunately, but it's a lot clearer on my phone.
Yeah. All right, what we got here?
So most of the leadership from my squad plus our platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant Reyes, just on one of the ops. So that's the America 3-2 flag right there that we're holding, that me and Klingon are holding up.
Yeah, I see it back there.
And then holding a Marine Corps flag up. Staff Sergeant Reyes took that every op we went on. Took it and would hang it up somewhere.
That's awesome.
So
this is a cool picture.
So that's me again.
With all your shit.
With all my shit. I mean, it's a clusterfuck, right? So then, like, you couldn't see this from that other picture because it was from the front, but, like, we all carried day packs, and the day pack is ammunition for the 240, ammunition for the saw, more magazines if you have extra magazines. All the pouches on the outside of it are extra 203 rounds. Inside the pack are more 203 rounds.
I mean, are you prepared? Like, do you have enough stuff that, like, if you get lost out there or anything like that, do you got food and all kinds of shit like that in there?
There's some MREs in there. They're all field stripped down, but depending on how long we were supposed to be out there, depends on how much I take. Water. So there's a water bottle and a canteen pouch on the side of the back of the pack. Mm-hmm. So,
did you ever know any like POWs or anything out there? Did anybody ever get taken?
Our guys?
Yeah.
No. We took a handful of POWs, but none of us ever got captured.
Yeah.
So
you weren't going to let that happen.
And not in 3-2. That for damn sure wouldn't happen.
All right, what we got here?
Billy pulling security, so he's tucked down in a little creek.
That kind of looks ravine like that. Almost looks like a Nom picture right there,
right? So I mean, some spots it was like kind of wild, but then like 10 feet this way is just nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like right on a little water system. He's pulling security while somebody's doing something or other, but he's got the saw there. So.
What was the vegetation like out there? I mean, I saw the wheat, and we kind of see the stuff that's in that picture there.
It looks like bamboo, honestly.
I was going to say that looks like bamboo there, but I didn't want to assume that it was.
They had some trees. They didn't have a shit ton of trees. out in the fields, they would grow poppy, they'd grow corn, they'd grow wheat. Outside of the fields, there was really no vegetation.
Yeah.
So
It's just like rocks
desolate.
and dirt. And
yeah, rock and dirt.
Can they not grow? Will it just not grow?
I don't know. So I was there in the spring. One of my deployments, we like went into the spring, through the winter, into the spring, and you could like look out at it's kind of the same way we look out your window, and you just see the trees. You can see straight through the woods. There's no leaves, no nothing, right? Instead of trees, there's mountainsides, and then the rains would come, and the temperatures would kind of change, and there would be this like green sheen kind of like over the entire area because like stuff would start to sprout, and then the rains would stop, and it would get hot, and then everything died.
Out there in Haiti, it's like it was similar, but then when things did grow, it was like, all the farm animals, just roaming the streets or just like eating everything.
Yeah.
So there was nothing there because everything's just getting eaten.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was like some spot, it was just desolate. Nothing growing.
Yeah.
Nothing growing. They grew pomegranates there. So like pomegranate orchards, but those are obviously like being tended and watered and all that other shit.
Yeah. All right. What we got right here?
So again, Operation Reservoir Dogs.
Why'd you guys call it Operation Reservoir Dogs?
That's what Headquarters Marine Corps called it. I don't know. They called it Reservoir Dogs. So we did Reservoir Dogs 1 and we did Reservoir Dogs 2. This is Reservoir Dogs 1. Shortly after an engagement, I believe we're trying to call in air because we're still kind of getting engaged up to this point. Air showed up on station, but they didn't do anything. They like flew right over the top of it and just like kept going. They're like, yeah, there's nothing there. And then like we get shot at again right afterwards. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, man? Just blow these bitches up so we can move on.
It's crazy to me. That's probably something that the movies get wrong is because you've said multiple times that the intelligence was never right,
Never. So, but yeah, I mean, like in the movies, they like call in air and they're like dropping all these fucking bombs and all the cool shit's happening. And we're like getting heavily engaged and we call in air and we can't get any support from any other unit that we have because they can't see us from where we've like moved to.
Yeah.
And I think we might have been out of range for mortars or where we were getting shot at from was out of range of mortars or whatever it was. So we call in air and they like approve the strike. So we're like all standing by, all giddy, like, fuck yeah. This is gonna, and then like, I mean, he was like 100 feet off the ground, cruised by, and then like just kept going. And I like look at the lieutenant. I'm like, where are the fucking bombs at, sir? Like, they did a flyover. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did we not just obliterate these bitches?
I mean, what's the point of doing the flyover?
Show of force.
Yeah.
A lot of times like air would come on station and they would scatter like ants. Because they can't shoot a fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
Way the fuck up there. They didn't have the capabilities most of the time. So helos come on station. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're done fighting for now. Fucking scurry on.
All right. What we got right here?
So this is at Hibbard's funeral. The one I went to last year.
Oh, wow.
So Hibbard was in 3-2 with us. And most of those guys were in 3-2 or they were at least in our platoon. And then, so a couple of the guys, you can start seeing like familiar faces as we trickle through some of these, right? Like Win and Knight, they were in a different company when we were in Afghanistan, but they like knew each other like after the Marine Corps. Knight was like Hibbard's roommate in college with Billy. And yeah, so most of the group, it was all either 3rd Platoon or 3-2 at his funeral. And ironically enough, He is buried in the ones that go left to right. Are those rows or columns? Those are rows.
Yeah,
Row A, he's column 18, Alpha 1-8.
Oh, that's
This is
cool.
where he's at. So he's one of those, the plaques, because they just enshrined him earlier that day. So his stone's not engraved or anything, but it's one of those plaques kind of above Chun, the little Asian guy in the middle.
Where'd you say that this is right here?
This is in Colorado. So
That's awesome. All right, what we got here?
that's at one of the other funerals.
I was going to say this looks recent because there's your beard's on point.
Right. I want to say this is the same funeral. This is, we had a get together with the family and stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's like Christ is our squad leader, and then me, and then Klingon, and then John Chun. So, old Chun.
Old Chun. You need to send this podcast out to him to show them that they're famous now.
I will.
With my 19 listeners.
There you go. Hey, we got 119 views on the other one. All right, on YouTube at least.
I was gonna say yours is probably one of the most viewed ones that are on there.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
Apparently people are watching it.
There you go. There you go.
People like the military and respect what you guys do. For sure.
They like hearing some of the stories because I mean it's just like you said, it's like a movie where it's just so wild. Like there's just nothing they've ever experienced or been introduced to.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's like you don't, as a civilian, like you don't know what it's like, but you're really curious about it. But then you don't, because there's a lot of, you guys see a lot of things that there's a lot of PTSD and all that kind of stuff, and so the general public does not want to like offend you guys for asking about it, but there's a lot of people that do want to talk about it. You've always been very open about your experience there and doing all that, but there's a lot of people that aren't, and I get it because there's some bad things that you've seen over the years, and
Right.
But people have a curiousness or they're just curious about like what's everyday life like.
Yeah.
We can talk about these pictures and the things that you see here all day long, but like day in and day out, you wake up in the morning, what do? You going straight out into like some kind of combat, or because sometimes people are in the midst of it. It seems like you were in the middle of all that kind of stuff, and then some people go and they're just there hanging out for 6 months until it's time for them to come back.
Support group that never leaves the wire.
Yeah.
I mean, they play a role. They're not fighting bad guys, but they play a role.
Yeah, for sure.
What's their role? Is it figuring out logistics so we have food and water, which sometimes wasn't super great because we ran out of fucking food and water, right? Are they doing logistics so we have ammo?
Yeah.
Intel people. There's
Everybody has a part in it. It's like all of the military, and I don't think that you guys are giving other people shit about like,
no.
I was out there.
I absolutely am.
I'm out there getting shot at.
A bunch of fucking pogue ass bitches. So pogue is personnel other than grunt. If you weren't a grunt, if you weren't an 03, fuck off.
That's funny. All right, what we got here? All right.
Another reunion. We were up in North Carolina, Western North Carolina. It's again the same group. The three at DeLeon, Billy, and me. We're all in the same squad for that second deployment night. Went to Japan with us. We're all together and just throughout the years hanging out, seeing each other whenever we can. So this was.
I bet it's nice
like a
being able to see these guys. Even after all that.
It is.
It's like one of those where maybe you don't talk every day, but then when you get together, it's like right where you left off.
Right. I mean, it's like you miss the guys, and you miss it all the time, and being able to see them and hang out with them is refreshing and therapeutic for the soul.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. But it's, how sometimes, I don't know if you have friends like this, but like if you don't stay in touch with them, in contact, they get their feelings hurt and all that.
Yeah.
But then you have those guys like you don't see him for a couple years, and then like when you see him again, it's like right where you left off, feels good, and then you're not going to talk to him for a little while after.
Right. Yeah. No, that's how some of it is. Some of the other guys.
Well, the reality is
care,
you got your lives,
Right.
You're married with, you got 4 kids now, right?
Yeah.
You got four kids.
4 kids. Laxton just turned 4 yesterday.
Happy birthday to him. But like, on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, he's Valentine's baby. He's gonna be a player.
Yeah, he will be. He'll be like, hey, baby, today's my birthday and Valentine's Day. All right, what we got here?
So this is at Cardi's funeral. One of the other guys, he was.
Damn, man, this is kind of depressing. Is like all of the funerals are all these military related, or is it just...
Cardi went to he went to Afghanistan both times with me. Was in our platoon for most of it. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to show like some pictures of like us while we were in, but then like still showing up for each other and like getting together outside. And this is a mix of my senior Marines, my peer group, which was all Cardi's peer group as well. Guys mixed from first deployment, second deployment. But he was out from East Tennessee, out by Knoxville.
Yeah.
So that's where this is. This was actually in Knoxville. But, I mean, we got multiple generations of Marines that all served together with him. And, some of these guys I hadn't seen in 10 years.
Yeah.
And it was shitty circumstances, right?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Still, like, good to get together, see everybody. But we might not, some of these guys might not have talked to Cardi in 10 years, but
yeah,
they were there for his family when he passed.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
That's Cardi on the left. So
he's the one that passed.
Yeah. But again, like same theme, right? Like Christ and Sean, we've known each other our entire careers, and we're together our whole careers, and still hanging out when we can to this day. But yeah, Cardi's the one to the left.
Who's the one all the way to the right?
That'd be me. Yeah,
you can barely even recognize
the tallest one. Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at it and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Chris.
Yeah. The tallest one.
Yeah.
So
that's funny to see you without
no facial hair,
all dressed up, looking sharp.
Yeah. I was at one of the Marine Corps balls. So after our first deployment.
Yeah.
Is that Christ's wedding? So, see, it's not just funerals. We get together for some other shit too, see? So, but...
You got weddings in there. That's good.
Yeah. And the picture holding up is Laxton.
Oh, yeah.
Who passed away. So...
That's awesome.
This was the next time we all saw each other after his funeral.
How long in between it was it?
My memory's not the best. Timeline wise, who fucking knows?
I was about to say it doesn't really matter.
A year-ish, something like that.
Yeah. All right, what we got here?
So again, all us that were together at Christ's wedding. So, and that's Laxton, who had passed away shortly before that.
Laxton.
Yeah, Preston Tyler Laxton.
How old was he?
Shit. In his 30s. Maybe he was 30.
That sucks, man.
So, yeah, that was a hard one.
Well, that's a cool picture.
So, out on op, I think that's Billy, honestly. Somebody snagged a picture of him with the sun coming up. That's out on op on our second tour.
You could be like, yeah, that's me. That's me in that picture.
There's enough of me in there. I don't need to lie for it.
Yeah.
So again, a duplicate of Cardi's funeral. That's the first. Well, that's my first tour.
Man, look at that background.
Right, just fucking nothing.
It's so weird, man. It's almost like a bomb went off their, pre-human civilization and it just never recovered.
Yeah. So Herrick is in the foreground. He was my squad leader. The guy on the machine gun is Johnson. And then the poor sack of shit on a knee with a machine gun on his shoulder. That's me. So,
So the guy has the guy behind you has a machine gun using your shoulder to prop it up.
as a tripod. He's using me as a tripod.
And you
yes.
wonder why you got all these fucking back problems and everything else.
This might contribute to some of the hearing loss that's not service connected, but whatever.
I was gonna say that thing going pop, 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 pop,
It was
shaking your shoulder and
God.
everything else.
It was amazing. So that same picture where I'm standing, engaging targets. This is the same spot. Different day, same spot. See the guys. I'm trying to walk the machine gunners on. In the prone, you can't see him.
Yeah.
Because of the terrain. Mm-hmm. Gets to a knee. Still kind of like can't see. Standing we're way too far. He's way too unsupported. He's like, take a knee right here. Props it up. He sees what I see. So now I'm his spotter. And he rips it. Do. My eyeballs are like rattling in my skull.
I was gonna say that thing's got to shake your face.
You ever take one of those massage guns, like put it to the back of your base of your skull?
Oh, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, that's how it was. And he was ripping 10, 15, 20 round bursts at it. Tell him where to make the adjustment, rip it again, make the adjustment, rip it again, make it again, the adjustment.
Yeah, that's why you can't hear too. I'm pretty sure of it.
It's not service connected.
It's
not service connected.
All right, what we got here?
Just one of the squads out on one of the. This is my first deployment, so this is the squad I was with my first deployment. Just after one of the patrols towards the end. Mm-hmm. So just picture of all those guys together. So same thing. I believe, same deployment because it's Doc LaRue in the bottom right. I'm in the top right. Remember we were talking about that Thor and that stupid ass antenna that gave everybody cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the antenna.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm top right. Cardi is top left over there. So
that's awesome.
And then Christ is also in here somewhere. I just can't pick him out. I think he's front center on the bottom row. So
look at this one.
This
is a cool one.
So that's 3-2 right there. That's all of us on that second tour.
Where are you at? Trying to pick you out there.
I am second from the left on the top.
Oh yeah.
So Kevlar unbuckled seemed to be a theme for me. So, but Laxton is in the front, who passed, right? Mm-hmm. And then top row in the middle with his holding his rifle up is Christ. Just to the right of him, no Kevlar with the sunglasses, is Hibbard, the funeral we went to last year. So that's Laxton's funeral. Cardi died about 8 months later.
I was gonna say, man, there's a lot more funerals in here than there are weddings.
Yeah, I couldn't find any pictures of Billy's wedding. So, but yeah, this was kind of. So we lost a lot of people since we've been back.
Yeah.
This is the first one that hit close to home. Mm-hmm. Laxton was the first one that was a part of our squad, our platoon, that we all knew, we all loved. I talked to him. Probably we all group of us FaceTime together about 6 months before he passed away.
Wow.
We all knew he was struggling. We all could have done more to help him out.
Yeah.
That was a hard one. So I was out in Arkansas, but some of those guys, the first time that we've seen each other since any of us got out, was this one that brought us all together.
It's crazy to me that you guys can go over and do all of the stuff that you've done and make it out alive and then come home and die from whatever here.
Right.
It's sad.
It is. It's hard. It's hard. I made a comment last time. We were talking about the amount of people that have lost. When you asked, did we lose them all over here or over there? And I said, it'd been a lot easier if it was over there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's true. It sucks. It hurts. there's no reason, those guys shouldn't still be here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a bummer on that. I just can't imagine what you guys all had done over there, and then to lose them over here is just baffling to me.
Shitty.
Yeah. All right, what we got here? Another one.
Same funeral. Again, those are all our squad. That's part of our squad. We were all in the same together. Laxton spent some time in my fire team, Klingen's fire team. So
yeah,
but that's last night on the ship in Japan. So last night before we made dock back into port in Japan.
Yeah.
Before we came off of it, ship life sucked. Fuck that. But last night, get out on the balcony, smoke a cigar. So that's the group, that showed up in a lot of the other pictures, right? Like we all still talk to each other, regularly. See each other probably more than I see any of the other guys.
I'm sure that Japan was probably nicer to be at, but I mean, what kind of action's going on over there?
Nothing. It was training.
Yeah.
Training deployment. That was it. So.
Well, I mean, I didn't figure you were out there trying to pop off any Japanese people or anything.
Well,
like that.
So the fucked up part, right? I guess I want to deploy because I want to go to war. I want to keep fighting, right?
Yeah.
And then so I go on this training deployment. We get to Thailand. The group I'm supposed to be training with in Thailand gets deployed. So we end up doing some training with some motherfuckers right out of boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Because the unit we're supposed to work with is out doing work. We get to Malaysia. We train with 5 or 6 of them because everybody else that we were supposed to be training with all got deployed.
Yeah.
Go to fight terrorists down in the southern part of Malaysia.
Were you just like sitting there waiting to go or something?
It's just like, we're here doing training and like these motherfuckers get to go put in some work. Like, let us go put in some work with those guys, man. Come on, man. Fucking terrorist, a terrorist. I don't give a fuck what country he's in.
It cracks me up.
And then we hit the Philippines. Same thing. The entire unit that we were supposed to work with and train with got deployed to go fight terrorists in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, let's go fight with those guys, man. Damn. No, we're training.
No, we're
Training.
Got to train. All right, let's see what we got here. That might be the last one. Yep, that's the last one.
Last one. Good times, but I wanted to. I have a hard drive that's got a terabyte of shit, all from the war, videos and pictures and stuff. But life didn't end after that,
Yeah,
it's been much more difficult, but it didn't end. So, and those guys, that group of guys, the ones that you can see in the pictures while we were in, and the ones out, they have been a tremendous help in continuing on and pushing through and pushing forward.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you gotta be careful in that chair; it might break.
I might have just broke. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Well, look, we're not rich over here at the Fairview Social Podcast, so it might. Well, you did jump in the pool, so
I did, and a bunch of your guests live in gated communities. They can bring a chair.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Here, I'll put this video of you jumping in the pool. Or this is you walking slowly.
That's the first one. Going in, got to get in slow.
Nikki taking that in slow motion.
Like a wet dog. Look at that.
Like a wet dog. Here, let's do the other one. Here goes. The pool's about 45 to 48 degrees.
It was cold for sure. For sure. See the technique on the old
I saw that.
gainer, right? What is it? Can opener, is that what they're called?
Look at you.
Hell yeah.
That's funny, man.
It was cold. It felt great. Great getting out afterwards.
I was going to say that, like I said earlier, a lot of people say they're going to do it and they don't. You just walked right into it.
Yeah. I told you last night there was a 0% chance of that not happening. I was getting in it.
There was a 0% chance of me being a bitch.
Right. There's no bitch over this way.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I appreciate you coming on and talking more about it. That's, like I said, civilians want to hear like what happens over there. And a lot of times people are too scared to ask, and it's just a touchy subject, you know?
Yeah. And we still didn't even get to the war stories. We just talked about like life kind of over there and kind of a little bit about the guys I was with and being together.
Well, now that this is your second visit to the Fairview Social Podcast, you're kind of like a regular now. You're like the Fairview Social Podcast resident Marine.
There you go.
That's your spot here.
The few, the proud, right?
Yeah, the few, the proud, for sure. But next time you come over, we can talk about some war stories. I might need to hear them first so we don't get canned off of get knocked off of YouTube or something. I guess you can't really talk. You can't talk about certain things, I guess. But
shit, not from the podcast. I've seen plenty to talk about.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shooting
well, then we're good to go.
You know?
I did that live a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
that one might get us kicked off.
Oh,
Facebook is much more stringent.
I was like, hey, if like I told the guys beforehand, I said, listen, we don't need to cuss or anything on here because I'm not sure like what the community guidelines are. And right out the gate, fucking fuck this and shit. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're
doing this.
I guess we're doing this however you guys want.
You got 7 followers. It'd be easy to get those back if you get banned, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So worst case scenario, you know, it's that's okay.
Yeah,
but
one of my corpsmen, Pon, was like, "Is it gonna be live?" And I was like, "I mean, I don't think so." He's like, "Man, if it was live, you should send the link." I was like, "Okay, I mean, I would, but."
Well, hell, next time we'll do it live. Actually, I told Nikki that like we were talking about it. I'm like, I just need to do all of them live and then, you know, release them later.
Yeah.
And so I thought about just, you know, circle them around, you know, Facebook or you know, Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and just circle them around and just do them, you know?
Yeah.
Because apparently it's a good way to pick up new followers and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It was cool. The one guy was like interacting, like asking questions, like
yeah, that was fun.
And like you said, like a lot of people like don't understand, or they haven't been exposed to the life and like what it's like. So you might get some good questions.
Well, I was gonna say maybe next time we do one, we do it live for sure, and then
or all my buddies watch it and they just talk shit.
Yeah.
So which will probably be what happens.
Which is fine. They can do that if they want, but that's all right. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up for this one. We did a good hour and a half here.
Okay.
Appreciate you
absolutely
showing the pictures and doing all the things. And we discovered that you are the resident Marine here.
Yeah.
The Fairview Social Podcast.
Look, can't be a Marine and not get in the water.
I know. You got in the water for sure. You manned up. You kept your word.
Absolutely. Hey, man of my word, right?
All right, CC. We'll see you later.
All right, Tim.
See you. Ha ha ha.